Let us continue our journey with the 22nd chapter, that is Elements of a Protocol for Research Studies. Let us see the first question. Description of the intervention is essential in a research protocol for what? A. Experimental study, B. Case control study, C. Cohort study, or D. Cross-sectional study. So the description of the intervention is essential in a research protocol for what study? The answer for this question is A. Experimental study. Is A. Experimental study. Now see the information given in this slide. It is regarding the outline of the method section. They have spoken regarding study design, description, study population, operational definition, sampling procedure, sample size, data collection, analysis plan, project implementation or plan, and finally you have the human subjects protection. Okay, so you see the second point over here. In the description of interventions, they have mentioned regarding that description of interventions also called as experimental studies. So in our question, the question was description of the intervention is essential in a research proposal for what? For what? So the answer for our question is experimental studies. Experimental studies given as an option. So we have to take this answer. Next question. Inclusion and exclusion criteria should be included under the following section in the protocol. The options are A. Sampling, B. Study population, C. is study design, or D. is sample size. So inclusion and exclusion criteria should be included under what? The answer for this question is B. Study population. B. Study population. Now see the information given in this slide. It speaks regarding the study population. Okay, in this slide they have spoken regarding use, time, place and person, in which they have mentioned regarding the inclusion criteria and the exclusion criteria. Now as per our question, inclusion and exclusion criteria should be included under the following section. The section is the study population section. So this is the explanation and this is the answer for our question. So please remember the question and the answer. Next question. The details regarding data quality assurance should be written in the following section in the protocol. Data quality assurance should be written in the following section. Which section? Options are A. Data collection, B. Data analysis, C. Project implementation, or D. Data entry. See, this data quality assurance should be written under the project implementation. Please remember this answer. It is not data collection, not analysis, and not data entry. It is under the project implementation. If this question comes in the examination, please put the answer as project implementation. Next question. The following annexure in the study protocol deals with toxicity management. Okay, which annexure? The options are A. Study management forms, B. Standard operating procedures, C. Consent forms, or D. Adverse event management form. So which annexure in the study protocol deals with the toxicity management? See, the answer for this question is straightforward, option number D, that is adverse event management form. Adverse event management form. If this question comes in the examination, please put adverse event management form as the answer. Next question. Study population, sample size and sampling are included in the following section of the protocol. The options are A. Introduction, B. Methods, C. Objectives, or D. Expected benefits. Once again the question, study population, sample size and sampling, all these three are included in the which section of the protocol? So the answer for this question is option number B, that is the methodology section. The methodology section. Please see the information given in this chart below. But before that, you should know that there is something called as IMRD structure. In the IMRD structure of writing manuscript, this I stands for introduction, okay, then M stands for methods, R stands for results, and D stands for the discussions. So now all these three things mentioned in the question, that is study population, sample size and sampling, come in the methods. Now see the discussion as I told you in the following slide. This is the slide of the outline of the methodology section. Method section of, as I told you, it is IMRD. I stands for introduction, methods, results and discussions. Methods will have these many steps. Okay, these are the following steps in the methodology. So from our question mentioned about study population, sample size and sampling. You have sample size, okay, sampling procedure, and then you have study population. All these three things are mentioned. All these three things are mentioned in the methodology section. So you please remember the question and also the answer. Please remember the question and also the answer. Next question. First step for writing a successful protocol is what? Options are A. Write a one-page concept paper, or B. Identify the topic, research questions and the objectives, or option C. Write a draft protocol, or option D. Seek ethics approval. So what is the first step for writing a successful protocol? The answer for this question is option number B. That is, you have to identify the topic, research question and the objectives. Now see the following slide. This slide mentions about the 7 steps of successful protocol. The first step itself will speak about the identify the topic, questions and then the objectives. So from our question, they asked what is the first step for writing a successful protocol, and the answer was, what we have taken was to identify the topic, question and objectives. Sometimes they will ask what is the last step of a successful protocol. In those scenarios, if the option is mentioned, then you have to take seek ethics committee approval will be the last step. So I request all the readers to please be perfect or mug up the 7 steps of a successful protocol from 1 to 7. 1 stands for identify topic, question and objectives. The second step is outline a one-page concept paper. The third step is prepare dummy tables. Fourth step is write a draft protocol. Fifth step is prepare instruments and annexures. Sixth step is submit to the peer review, and seventh step is seek ethics committee approval. So these are the 7 steps of a successful protocol. Next question. Key outcomes and exposure should be explained under what? Options are A. Data analysis, B. Data collection tools, C. Sampling, or D. Operational definitions. See this. Key outcomes and exposures, they don't come under data analysis, they don't come under data collection tools, neither sampling. They are a part of operational definitions. Now see the information given in the following slide. See this slide regarding the operational definitions paragraph. It spells out and justifies regarding the key outcomes and key exposures. Also, it speaks regarding the clarity and specificity essential and also the references if applicable. So you have to be perfect with the operational definitions paragraph. As far as our question is concerned, they have asked key outcomes and exposures shall be explained under what? So we took the answer as operational definitions as per the information given in this slide. Next question. The human participant protection paragraph addresses all of the following except. Options are A. Confidentiality, B. Risks involved, C. Is the compensation to be given, or D. Sample size calculation. So the human participant protection, it definitely addresses regarding the confidentiality, regarding the risks, also the compensation, but they have never spoken regarding the sample size calculation in this part of the human participant protection. So the answer for this question is D. Sample size calculation. Now see the information which is coming in the next slide. This is the information in this chart regarding the human subjects protection paragraph. It clearly mentions regarding the risks, the confidentiality, the compensations. So from our question, the risks, confidentiality and compensation, all the 3 are from this chart except the sample size calculation. It is not mentioned, it is not a part of the human subjects protection paragraph. Okay, so please remember the question and also the answer. Next question. Willingness of study participants to participate in a study is obtained by what? This should be the simplest answer of all the questions. It is probably a one line or the what do you say, a fill in the blank type of question. It is easily understood. Willingness of a study participants to participate in a study is obtained by what? Options are A, informed consent, B, oral commitment, C, willingness is not necessary, or D, none of the above. It is as simple as such. You should have or you should take informed consent. Informed consent. Then next question. The section that guides how the objectives will lead to the indicators. Options are A, through the introduction, B, through the study design, or C, through the budget, or D, through the objectives. So which is a section that guides how the objectives lead to the indicators? The answer for this question is B, study design. B, study design. See this information regarding the study design paragraph. It explains how the objectives lead to indicators and to the study design. So the first statement itself is the question. First statement itself is the question. Okay. So please remember the question and also the answer. The other statements in the study design paragraph are after this, like the objectives leading to indicators and to the study design. Second one will be regarding describes the type of study, and third one will describes the logistical arrangements. Next question. Which of the following statements is true regarding the first draft of the protocol? Okay, they are asking which is the true statement. So three statements are wrong and one is true regarding the first draft of the protocol. Let us see the statements. The draft is the final document and has to be adhered to as it is. Or 2, the concept paper can be used as an outline for drafting the first draft of the protocol. Or option C, background with justification, method of conducting the study, and expected benefits are stated briefly as in the concept paper. Or option D, additional references must not be added. So what is true? Let us see the options again. The draft is the final document and has to be adhered to as it is. No, this is the wrong statement. Second, the concept paper can be used as an outline for drafting the first draft of the protocol. It can be used. What can be used? The concept paper. Yes, this is the correct statement. This is the correct statement. Third one, the background with justification, method of conducting the study, and expected benefits are stated briefly as in the concept paper. No, even this is wrong. Additional references must not be added, they told, but even this is wrong because they have to be added. So we got the answer for our question. Option number B is correct. Let us see a few points regarding the first draft of the protocol. This is regarding the first draft of the protocol. The first point is that it is thought as it is written. It keeps the concept paper a summary and uses the concept paper outline. So in our question, over here, in our question, the true statement was that the concept paper can be used as an outline for drafting the first draft. Okay, so we got the answer over here. This was mentioned as an option in the question. Okay, so please remember the question and also the answer and also the start, because there are other bits which may be asked from the first draft of the protocol. Let us go to the next question then. Next question. It is ideal that the first draft of the protocol is what? Options are A, exceeds more than 2000 words, B, does not exceed more than 2000 words, C, exceeds more than 3000 words, or D, does not exceed more than 3000 words. See, they are speaking regarding the first draft of the protocol, the first draft. So the answer for this question is that it does not exceed more than 2000 words. Does not exceed more than 2000 words. In the previous question itself, I told that we have to be perfect with the information given regarding the first draft of the protocol. So let us see that information again. See this information over here, and it is written that it should not exceed, the first draft of the protocol does not exceed 2000 words. Okay, so this was the bit which was asked in the next question, or sorry, in this question. This one, see, does not exceed more than 2000 words. So this is the question and the answer. Please remember the question and also the answer. Next question. Data collection paragraph in the protocol should specify all except what? The options are A, the kind of data that will be collected, B, information about the data collector involved in data collection, or C, the detailed manner in which the data collector is going to collect the data, or D, the details about how the collected data will be used for policy recommendations. So, the data collection paragraph in the protocol should specify all these three except one. Let us see the options again. The kind of data that will be collected. Yes, they are speaking regarding the data collection. Please remember the question carefully and read the question carefully. Second is information about the data collector involved in the data collection. Yes, even this is correct. Third one is the detailed manner in which the data collector is going to collect the data. Again, this is correct. Finally, the details of how the collected data will be used for policy recommendations. No, this doesn't come under the section of data collection. Please remember the answer for this question. Now let us go to the next question. Next question. Mode of data entry, software for data analysis, and plan for data analysis are all included in the following section of the protocol. Once again, mode of data entry, the software for data analysis, and the plan for data analysis are all included in which section? Is it A, introduction, or B, methods, or C, objectives, or D, expected benefits? From the IMRD, as I told you, please go back to the previous questions or the first question or second question, I think, from this chapter. The answer for this question is all these things are included in the methodology section. Okay, so the mode of data entry, software for data analysis, and plan for data analysis are all included in the method section. Please go back to the previous questions from this chapter and be perfect with all the steps which are there in the methods part of the manuscript writing. Okay, the next question. Next question. Which of the following is a step for drafting a successful protocol? Options are A, writing an abstract, B, submitting for peer review, C, seeking consent from the participants, or D, data analysis. What is the step for drafting a successful protocol? Drafting is we have to write. So the answer for this question from the options given is submitting for peer review. Submitting for peer review. See the 7 steps of a successful protocol. From the question said, what is the step for drafting a successful protocol? The answer is submit to the peer review. From all the options given, I told from all the options given, from A, B, C, D, data analysis is not a step, seeking consent is not a step, writing an abstract is not a step, whereas submitting for peer review is a step of drafting a successful protocol. What step? Step number 6. Step number 6. Okay. Yes, step number 6. So please remember this question and also this answer. Next question. Which of the following statements is true? So 3 statements are false and 1 is true. Let us see the options. A. It is sufficient to mention whether the study is quantitative or qualitative in a study design section. Or B. The concept paper can contain more than 20 references relating to the study. Or C. Sample size calculation is not necessary for conducting the research. Or D. Human subject protection statement should be included in the method section. See, the answer for this question is straightforward. It is option number D. The human participant protection or human subject protection statement is included in the method section of the manuscript writing. You please go to question number 1. There we have mentioned or spoken regarding the outlines in the method section. The last step in the outlines of the method section will be human participant protection or human subject protection statement. Okay, so this is the answer for our question. Next question. The introduction can be 40% of the content of the protocol. Is it a true statement or a false statement? The 40% introduction cannot be 40%. The answer is false statement. Let us see what value has been given. See this information regarding the first draft of the protocol. In it, it is clearly mentioned that the introduction can be only or should be less than 20% of the length of the protocol. Less than 20% should be the answer. From the question they have asked that the introduction can be 40% of the content of the protocol, but this is wrong. It should be less than 20%. It should be less than 20%. Please remember the question and also the answer. Next question. Which of the following sections mentions about the detailed plan for conducting the study? Which section mentions about the detailed plan for conducting the study? Options are A. Introduction, B. Results, C. Methodology, or D. Discussion. So the answer for this question is what? The answer for this question is C. Method section. Okay. IMRD. In the IMRD, M stands for methodology section. Okay. Please go to the question number 1. We have spoken regarding the outline of the methodology section. It is a detailed plan is there for all the steps of the methods, what all it includes in the methodology plan. You please go through all the steps because any one of the steps can be asked in the examination. Okay. Then next question. Which of the following is a part of the introduction section of a protocol? Introduction section of the protocol. A. Inclusion and exclusion criteria. B. Detailed budgeting. C. Participant safety and protection. Or D. Background with justification. So which is a part of the introduction section? The answer for this question is option number A. Background with justification. Now see the information given in the following chart. The information is given in the first draft of the protocol. Okay, they have spoken regarding the introduction, which should be less than 20% of the length, and also regarding the background and justification. See, the first draft of the protocol, it uses the concept paper outline, which consists of background and justification, objectives, methods, expected benefits, and budgeting. So the introduction part itself will contain the background and justification. So please remember this question and also the answer for this question. Next question. In a research protocol, the timeline section outlines what? Options are A. The budget requirements, B. The duration of each phase of the study, or C. The ethical considerations, or D. The recruitment strategy. See, from this question, the question itself, like the timeline section, the term itself will signify what could be the answer. The answer it is very easy. Option is B, that is the duration of each phase of the study. Duration of each phase of the study. How much timeline will each phase require, or how much timeline has been given to each phase. Okay. The next question. See this next question. Which of the following is not an appropriate step of protocol development? Not an appropriate step in the protocol development. Options are A. Development of a research question, or B. Preparation of the analysis plan, or C. Development of the study tool, or D. Initiation of data collection. So which of the following is not an appropriate step of protocol of development? Let us see the options again. Development of research question, yes, it comes under this. Preparation of the analysis plan, yes, even this comes under the protocol. Next is the development of study tool, yes, even this comes under this step. Lastly, the initiation of data collection, no, this is not a part of the protocol development. So please remember the question and also the answer. Now next question. In which of the following section of the protocol is the analysis plan written? Again, this question is being repeated again and again. Not the analysis plan, but all by see from the options you could have understood what could be the answer. Options are objective, results, budget, and method. So analysis plan comes under the method. Okay. So you please go back to question number 1. There we have explained regarding the outline of the methodology section. Read all the steps one by one. What are all mentioned in this methodology section? I will tell one last part. The last part will speak regarding the human participant protection, which is very easy to be answered. The rest of the things are all mentioned one by one. You please go through the chart. One question can definitely be asked from that outline of the methodology section from the IMRD structure of manuscript writing. Okay. Now next question. Next question. State whether true or false. Study population and the study sample are the same. Is it a true statement or a false statement? Definitely it is a false statement. Definitely it is a false statement because we know that study sample comes from a study population, but both are not the same. Next question. Which of the following is correct about operational definitions in a study protocol? Operational definition in a study protocol. The options are A, it is a part of the background section. B, it spells out the key research gaps. C, it should be broad and non-specific. Or D, it may be supported by appropriate references. So which of the following is correct? Let us see the options again. That it is a part of the background section. Operational definitions? No, definitely not. It spells out the key research gaps. Operational definitions? No, definitely not. Then it should be broad and non-specific. No, even this is not the answer. So what is correct? The fourth option is correct, that it may be supported by appropriate references. So this is the right answer for this question. Next question. Which of the following component is least appropriate for a project implementation plan? So the options are A, calculating the sample size, B, coordinating the project activities, C is assigning job responsibilities, and D is preparing the project timeline. So which is least appropriate? The answer for this question is, let us see the options again. Calculating sample size. Yes, this is the answer for this question because it is not under the project implementation plan. Rest of the options, coordinating project activities, assigning job responsibilities, and preparing the project timeline, all are under the project implementation plan except the calculation of the sample size. See the information given regarding the project implementation plan. It addresses regarding what? It addresses regarding data collection, data entry and analysis, reporting, roles and responsibilities of the investigators, project governance, coordination of project activities, and project timeline. Now, in our question, they have asked which of the following component is the least appropriate for the project implementation plan. From the options, coordinating project activities. Yes, this has been mentioned in the options. Then the second point, then the next option, assigning job responsibilities. Assigning job responsibilities have also been mentioned in the option. Finally, the project timeline was also mentioned in the option. So what was not mentioned is the calculation of the sample size. So this is the answer for this question. All the students, please, all the people writing the BCBR exam, you should have an idea regarding the project implementation plan paragraph. Okay, all the charts which I have been mentioning in all the chapters, please have a look at those charts. Definitely one or two types of questions can be asked from any of the charts. Okay, all these, what are all the things we are discussing are the previous questions which have been asked previously. Next question. Human subjects are protected by all the following mechanisms except options are A, obtaining informed consent from the participants, or B, reviewing the proposal by the ethics committee. Yes. C is incentivizing target population for participation, or D, compensating participants for loss of wages. See, you take informed consent, you review the proposal by ethics committee, you give compensations but no incentives. There is nothing like incentives to be given. So this is the answer for our question. See this small discussion on the human subject protection paragraph. Okay, it speaks regarding the ethics committee, regarding the informed consent, regarding the compensations, regarding the confidentiality, and regarding the maximization of benefits, but they have never spoken regarding the incentives. In fact, see this point over here regarding the compensations. They have mentioned compensations without undue incentives. That is, incentives are not supposed to be given. So in our question, they have mentioned regarding the incentivizing target population for participation. So this is the answer for this question. Next question. Which section of a protocol describes the need to maintain anonymity of study participants while sharing data to others? You have to maintain the anonymity. Okay. So what are the options? A, human subject protection. B, data collection methods. C is data analysis plan. Or D, expected benefits. Answer is very simple. The answer is human protection, human participant protection, or human subject protection. Next question. In the method section of a protocol, a researcher can include all the following except options are A, analysis plan, B, supportive reference, C is expected benefits, and D is quality assurance. So a researcher can include all except. I told you previously, go to the first question and please read out the lines what are all be mentioned in the outlines of the methodology section. I remember the answer. I will read out the answer for this question because I remember. They contain analysis plan, they contain the methodology section contains supportive reference, the methodology section contains the quality assurance, but not the benefits, So this is the answer for our question. This is the answer for our question. Next question. The number of study participants required for a research study can be decided by what? Options are A, pilot study, B, sample size calculation, C, sampling procedure, or D, all of the above. So the number of participants which are required for a research study, they can be decided by a pilot study, they can be decided by sample size calculation, they can be decided by sampling procedure. So therefore, all the above is the answer for this question. Okay. Next question. State whether true or false. Researchers can amend a research protocol after re-obtaining the ethics committee clearance for the amendments made. Researchers can amend the research protocol after re-obtaining the ethics committee clearance for the amendments made is a true statement. It is a true statement. Next question. In the sampling procedure, the following is the type of sample which can be recommended to be avoided if possible. So which type of sample can be avoided? The options are as follows. A, random sample, B, systematic sample, C, convenience sample, or D, cluster sample. We have seen this question in another chapter also. So the answer for this question is always avoid if possible the convenience sample. The convenience sample. Then next question. The first draft of the protocol is written and uses the concept paper outline. Is this a true statement or a false statement? We have seen this previously. It is a repeated question and the answer is that it is a true statement. It is a true statement. Okay. Then next question. Again regarding the draft protocol. The draft protocol should not exceed how many words? It is a direct question. Answer is 2000 words. 2000 words. Please go back and see the chart on the first protocol. There it is clearly mentioned that it should not exceed more than 2000 words. Next question. Study population paragraph uses what? Time, place, person, or all of the above? Once again, the study population paragraph, it uses time, yes, place, yes, person, yes, all of the above, yes. Please go back to the previous questions or the initial questions where there is a chart on the study population paragraph. In it, it is clearly mentioned regarding the usage of time, person, and place. Next question. Operational paragraph defines what? A, key outcomes, B, key exposures, C, key outlines. So answer is D, both key outcomes and key exposures. Even this is a repeated question. Next question. Which of the following sections of a research protocol typically includes a flowchart? Flowchart is included in what section? Is it methodology section? Is it a result section? Is it a study design or is it a introduction? Answer is very simple. Flowcharts are in study designs. They are in study designs. Okay. Next question. Which element in a research protocol specifies how the results will be disseminated? Options are A, objectives, B, data analysis plan, C is the dissemination plan, or D is introduction. The answer is been given in the question itself. Which elimination in a research protocol specifies how the results will be disseminated? So the answer for this question is C, dissemination plan. C, dissemination plan. Then next question. Next question. What is the importance of having an intervention section in a research protocol? Intervention section in a research protocol. Options are A, it describes the study population, B, it explains the ethical considerations, or C, it outlines the treatment or procedure being tested, or D, that it presents the literature review. The importance of having an intervention section in a research protocol is that it outlines the treatment or procedure being tested. Okay, it outlines the treatment or procedure being tested. Chalo. And next question. What is the purpose of a secondary objective in a research protocol? Now, secondary objective came. in a research protocol? Options are A, to outline the main aim of the study, or B, to outline the secondary aims of the study, or C, to outline the tertiary aims of the study, or D, to outline the study design. So what is the answer? The answer is, when they are speaking regarding the secondary objective itself, is to outline the secondary aims of the study. Secondary aims of the study. Please remember the question and also the answer. The next question. Which of the following is a characteristic of well-defined research question? Well-defined research question. Chalo, what is its characteristic? Let us see the options. Options are A, it is broad and open-ended. B, it is specific and focused. Or C, it is complex and multifaceted. Or D, it is vague and ambiguous. The characteristics of a well-defined research question is to the point. You have to be very specific and focused. This is the answer for this question. Next question. Written plan for a research protocol. For a research is known as what? Protocol, man. What is this question? It is very simple question. The written plan for a research is known as protocol. Very, very simple answer. Next question. Which of the following is not a key element of a research protocol? Which of the following is not a key element of a research protocol? The options are A, research question, B, study design, C, sampling strategy, or D, data analysis software. So what is the answer for this question? Not a key element. The answer is D, data analysis software is not a part of the key element of the research protocol. Research question is there, research design is there, sampling strategy is there, but not data analysis software. Okay. Next question. A researcher developed a protocol based on an experimental study. Now, which section of the protocol will have the description of interventions? This has been a repeated question. Is it introduction? Is it objectives? Is it analysis plan? Or is it methodology or methods? The answer for this question is very simple. As I told, it is a repeated question. So the answer is D, methods. Okay. From the IMRD structure, I stands for introduction, M stands for method, R stands for results, and D stands for discussion. So the description of interventions all is mentioned in the methodology section. You have multiple steps in methods. Okay. Please go back to the question number 1 and see the description what we have spoken over there. Next question. State whether true or false. Study population and the study sample are not the same. Yes, definitely it is a true statement. Next question. Randomization process of a proposed clinical trial is explained in which of the following section and subsection of a study protocol? Randomization of a clinical trial is explained in which section? Options are A, introduction, B, methods, C, methods, again D, methods. Oh, once again, introduction and rationale, methods or sampling procedure, methods or sample size, methods or methods and inclusion criteria. So randomization, when do you do? Whenever you are doing sample collection. Okay, so it is known as sampling. So answer for this question is option number B. Okay, if this question comes in the answer, in the examination, please put the answer as option number B. Next question. Which of the following factors decide the sample size of a study? Options are A, study objective and sampling method, B, study population and study design, C, data analysis plan and expected outcome, or D, inclusion and exclusion criteria. So which of the following factors decide the sample size of a study? The answer is very simple. It is option number A, the study objective and sampling method. Study objective and sampling method. Next question. State whether true or false. Detailed analysis plan is not required in a study protocol. Is it a true statement or a false statement? We require detailed analysis plan. So therefore this statement is a false statement. This statement is a false statement. Chalo then. Next question, we will go very fast. Next question. Which of the following subsection of methods will have the information on possible risk minimizing measures in a research. So whenever a risk minimizing measure is mentioned, you are speaking regarding the human beings. Okay. So the options are A, methods and informed consent. Everything is regarding the method section only. So is it A, informed consent? Is it B, human participant protection? Is it C, expected benefits? Or is it D, the data collection procedure? Definitely the risk minimizing measures, the protocols, the steps are all been mentioned in the human participant protection. So option number B is the answer for this question. Next question. In a study protocol on an interventional study, adverse event management plan should be documented in detail in which section of the study protocol? Is it A, methods, B, introduction, C, objective, or D, results? See, the adverse event management plan, they are speaking regarding the plan. Okay. So planning should be done in the methodology only. So answer is A. It is very simple. The next question. Oh, we have come to the last question of this chapter of 22nd. Let us finish it up. Match the following. Concert is what? On the left side they gave concert, strobe and prisma, and on the right side they gave meta-analysis, randomized trials and observational study. So the answer is that concert is for randomized trials, okay, and the strobe is for observational study, prisma is for meta-analysis. So all these are interrelated to each other. Concert, randomized trial, strobe is observational study, prisma is meta-analysis. If this question comes in the examination, you please remember the answer. Option is A. Option is A. I will write down once again correctly. Concert and lastly you have the prisma. Prisma is related to meta-analysis. Okay. So please remember this question and this answer. So with this we come to the end of this 22nd section of MCQ solving in basic course in biomedical research. Happy learning. Bye.